Welcome to the Penny Lys podcast. Tuba 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 tuba. Welcome to the Penny Lys podcast. Tuba 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 tuba.
Hey, we're live on the podcast. I don't know why I'm singing the song like this. I don't even know what the accent is. What are we even doing with our
You're
life?
selling something on the street.
Like a spruiker.
You're
Yeah.
spruiking.
I'm spruiking, everyone. I'm spruiking the Penny Lys podcast. Please get yourself and your ear holes onto the Penny Lys podcast. It's weird because I'm already in it.
Yeah.
And for someone to listen to this, they'd
They've
already be
already-
listening to it.
Correct.
So it's a terrible spruiker.
Yeah.
Really. Isn't
Like
it?
you're in the shop and everyone's there for that specific purpose and they're like, come on in. And you're like, yeah, I'm here.
I'm in, mate. Calm down. I'm in here. I'm already here, mate. Just stop.
Do you know who else is here?
Just stop. Who is here?
You can't find your phone.
I got it.
I forgot his name already.
I forgot. Anyway, what? Sorry?
We have
Oh, we've got guests.
We've got guests.
We're terrible with introducing guests, and we've been getting better and better as we go. And I haven't even wrote an intro. Oh, for these guys. Oh,
You'll
I feel
have to
terrible.
do it on the fly.
On the fly.
Oh, no
yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
Beck loves to giggle. Ben likes to jiggle. Ben is the music master. Beck moves a lot faster. Welcome to the podcast, Bec and Ben. So good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks very
for
much.
having us.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Welcome as our first two guest arrangement.
Yeah.
How
Tandem.
exciting.
It's good to have two people here because there's more people to talk to, isn't there?
Because you'd prefer to not talk to me.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
I
saying?
know.
Like, oh, it'd
It's
be
a
great
little
if there was
awkward.
more people to talk to.
Yeah, that's
aside
what I
from you.
always say,
Yeah.
isn't it? And this
Yeah.
is the whole reason we put the podcast on, just to have
Yeah.
someone else to talk to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I mean, it's
otherwise
paying
we're just
off.
sitting there in a room
There's gear between you.
by
Silence.
ourselves.
You see, it's a physical barrier between us. Yeah,
Yeah.
we couldn't be
Probably
further
for the
apart
best.
from each other.
It's actually so she can't throw stuff at me. So yeah, it's
you
good.
built a wall.
Yeah, because I'm generally a bit cheeky. But we've got an exciting episode for you guys that are listening and for Bec and Ben to join in on. And you guys have brought some like fantastic stories from what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Really?
Top tier content.
Top tier content. So this episode we're going to talk about, what is it? Alien abductions? You guys have like a true story, right?
Well, yeah, it is
Yes.
a true story.
Straight from the source.
Straight
An
from
encounter.
source
An encounter.
An
no one
encounter.
was
Straight
abducted
from the saucer,
that we know
if you
of.
will.
that you know of. Someone
Straight from
Thanks. Thanks
someone
for
could have been.
Saucer.
Saucer. Oh, flying saucer.
that. Like 30 seconds went by. Oh, Ben said a funny thing.
Yeah, the cogs were going up here, and I was like, now I get it. Okay, cool. And we've got some like CIA cover-up sort of conspiracy theory stuff as well. And then we've got some fun, icebreaker questions. I think we should start right now with.
You said
What do you reckon?
icebreaker.
Well, to be fair, and you would have known from like seeing some of the episodes, they can be icebreaker questions really too, because they do
They get a bit
do
curly.
really get curly. Yeah, 100%. So Ben, like your knowledge of the podcast itself, what's your favorite episode? Like, what do you like about the show? How would you explain the podcast to people that haven't sort of seen it? So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, Ben.
Episode 6 of season 2
Okay.
was definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Whoever the guests were in that, they were fantastic. What you guys talked about was very interesting, and the podcast was of an adequate length, and it was of safe viewing content standards.
How long do we let him go?
It was aesthetically pleasing,
Aesthetically, please.
and I enjoyed it.
No, that's so good. So
It's a good description.
it is really
I
good.
got a lot from
Episode
that.
6 of season 2.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Just
Definitely my
repeating
favorite.
things.
That's my favorite one.
What I like about that is season 2 we didn't have guests. So
Nah,
that's
we didn't.
It's not the episode I saw.
Yeah. It's just
What were you
the two
watching?
of us.
Maybe it was season 6, episode 2, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, so I appreciate that not everyone gets to watch it. So, and I actually like the idea that you've come on like super fresh, not seeing much of what's going on.
Oh man.
Yeah, so you're like, what the hell am I doing now? Because the energy started, and you're like, holy shit, what have I got myself into?
What are the rules?
Rules? Come on, mate.
Can we
There's no
talk
rules.
about it?
Yeah.
What are the first?
There's no rules.
No rules.
Nah.
No rules.
Rule number 1. No rules.
No rules. I Doyle rules. Anyway, have you got a question that you'd like to ask?
Yeah, okay. Let's just get into some.
So we usually do Lys's green box, where she pulls out her green box and the questions inside it, and pulls the questions out, and then asks those questions.
Yep. Slight variation on that today. But
Sparkly
I do,
phone.
Sparkly phone. You can both answer this. What is your least favorite organ in your body?
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Intestine.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say small intestine.
No way!
Isn't that crazy? We just have so much chemistry.
It's just gross.
It is. This is fucking wild.
Yeah, wow.
No, you're full of shit. You weren't going to say that.
What were you gonna say?
Kidney. Were you
I
going
was
to say
actually gonna
something?
say kidney.
No,
Yeah,
you're-
I thought
you're
you
a
went.
liar.
I did. I was going to say call intestine.
Yeah, right. Isn't the small intestine your colon? Isn't that the same thing?
No, large intestine's your colon.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
a bit of a pain in.
Learned something new.
Yeah. Pain in the.
I was going.
What?
I was waiting for you to go ass.
Oh, ass. Yeah. No, I like it. I thought we were just mumbling for a bit.
What is it?
I like it. All right. Okay, so I've got a few things. We were talking a little bit beforehand about driving, and I really like the psychology of driving. What's your favorite thing about traffic?
That's like water
build up
cooler
was so
talk, but like elevated.
So traffic, hey?
And the guy that no one wants to get stuck with at the water cooler. Like fuck.
What do you like about traffic?
So I think it's funny. Like, if everyone's going the same speed, they're fine. If someone's going faster than you, they're an asshole. If someone's going slower than you, they're an asshole. But as long as they're going the same speed, they're fine.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, everyone's an asshole except for you in the car. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And like, because you don't know them, and there's been those tests happen. What are you laughing at? Stop it. Where they've put a picture of themselves or a video of themselves on the back screen, and there's been less road rage happen because of it. Have you seen that?
No.
Explain the video.
So, okay, on the back window of the car, they'd have a video of the face of the person driving.
So you can see them as a
So
real
you
person.
could see them as a real person, and
Yeah.
you'd have less road rage because you
they're
just
an
see the
actual
ass of the
person.
car.
Because the
Yeah.
back of people's heads is what really pisses me
Yeah, yeah. You didn't comb that today, did you?
Well-
Yeah, bastard.
Well, it would ruin our fun. Because as we're driving, bloody Suzuki Swift.
Yeah.
that'd
Yeah,
be
Suzuki
right.
Swift
Damn
drivers,
Suzuki.
yeah.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
you've got nothing else to go on except for what they're currently doing in the car they're in. Like,
True.
they're your two
True.
factors.
And you're just
Like,
trash talking them for no reason.
based on the type of person they are,
Yeah.
based on the car that they have. So,
Okay, this one's for you, Beck. Pranks.
Oh,
What's the best prank that you've pulled on a new employee at work?
I've never done any. Oh, actually, no, there is one.
And you can go next.
I feel like he had an answer straight away.
What do you got?
No, so when I used to be a flight attendant,
Yeah.
it was like a classic prank that you do on people where you'd like G up people's demo kits. So, you know, when
What's
they
a
go out and do
demo
the
kit?
safety demo.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd do little tea bags on the end of the on the end of where you pull the toggle. So you'd pull it out and then just be like two little bags hanging there. And then you'd also cut the fingers off of your gloves and put them on the little inflation tubes. So it's like, and they go, oh fuck. And then sometimes I guess if you're feeling really mean, like you could sprinkle some sugar in it for when you unfold it. Oh. So it's just like confetti, and then they're like, fuck, and then they're like, oh, tea bags, fuck, and then they're like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
So good.
Great. Harmless fun. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing mean.
Yeah.
I think the worst prank that I had on me was I had one lady, I love her so much. I used to work with her. She could sell like anything.
Yeah.
Like I was so gullible around her. She came up to me. She's like, oh my God, Bec, your bag's gone out in the cart. The cart's gone. Catering have taken the cart. And I'm like, fuck my bag. All right. And I'm running up and I've gone up to the captain. I'm like, my bag's gone. I don't know. He's like, there's no carts that have gone off. No. I'm like, so I think I've actually fallen victim to more pranks than I've dealt.
That's so good.
Yes, that's mine. What's yours?
I just don't think that we're like inherent pranksters. I don't think we're,
You're not big into pranks?
I don't know. It's like,
What was your answer when you were like,
oh, mine was the naughty thing I did when I worked at a
Naughty?
hotel.
Naughty.
Naughty boy?
It was like, it's so minor.
This is what the
and
people
so
come for.
immature. So immature. But I remember there was this, so I used to check people in, and there was it's not really a staff member.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of.
Did you used to
drifting off a
check
little
out
bit.
people as well?
oh, I know what you're going to
Check,
say.
yeah. All kinds of checking.
All right. Yeah. Sorry.
And there was a guy who would check in, and he was a regular, and it was like my last day that I was working there, and he came from a place. So you open up their account and their address is there in the suburb, and the suburb was Aaron's Pass. And I was standing there and I was like, it's my last day. I have to leave some kind of legacy here. So I just deleted the P. So whenever he checks in,
And he's a regular.
gotta check.
It'll just say- and was it a part of the process that you'd be like just checking that you're this person from Aaron's house?
yeah. But you can picture like future staff going, and you're from Aaron's, and considering whether to ask him or not. That was it.
Wow.
That was a good one.
And
that
I
was
quit.
a good one.
Yep.
So good.
Just like living with that for just some days
I've been
randomly
holding
think
on.
of it like
I've been waiting to
oh,
share that.
It's
like on a national platform like this.
It's your
Like,
legacy.
you're the
this
person,
is worldwide too.
If you're the person who this happened to and you've worked after Ben and you've fallen victim to this prank, can you please let us know?
Oh, how good.
Like,
And
how
also
good
you're
has
how
it been?
good.
Yeah.
Can you say where you worked?
Okay, so you haven't necessarily seen other episodes. So why don't we talk about something off another episode? Maybe you haven't seen it, but can you share? We talked about dreams. Can you share any weird dreams that you've had? I shared one about pickles.
and we will try and sort of
Decipher
what the dream
This
is.
is a skill that I have
very
as we
cool.
worked out. Shani was not as great at it, but it's a skill I possess.
Okay.
Maybe I just had a really weird dream.
Do you have weird
Where do
dreams?
I
Do you have
start?
any dreams? Do you dream? This could be one of those situations where it's like me and doesn't dream. Do you dream?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh,
okay, good.
Well, that's a good start.
How funny if he's like, nah, don't.
No.
Because I don't really
I've
either.
never had a dream before.
When I feel
Never had a dream.
Never had
What
a
is it
flying
like?
dream, which saddens me.
Never had a flying
Never
dream.
had a flying dream.
I have.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
the
me
best.
too.
Sweet
They
no
are
back, you
good.
rang me.
I've never had a flying dream. I've had a falling dream.
Oh, yeah.
Not a flying. This is awesome. It was not awesome. It was not awesome.
I've had a flying and falling in the same dream.
Like
you just
learning to
stopped
fly?
being able to fly?
Yeah,
So you were flying and then all of a sudden couldn't keep flying.
that's
You're
correct.
Superman,
really
and then you were
depressing.
just man.
It's
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's man. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Where do you start?
I used to have night terrors when I was a kid.
Wow.
Oh.
And I used to have this recurring dream of a giant blimp, like a Zeppelin shaped thing, and it looked like it was made of concrete. And it was a grey and black haze around it, and it would just go like that, and it would just kind of churn in my head, and I'd wake up and I'd just be like, almost as scary.
I'm so sad.
That's not unlike one of the alien encounters I read about.
Really?
Oh my God,
Yes.
maybe Ben was abducted by
Yes.
aliens when he was a
Because-
child.
That's creepy.
What you're talking about is an orb situation.
I love this so much.
Are we going to talk about that now? Or are we going to talk about
Well, wait. We'll talk about it, and I'll give you some examples, and maybe you can let me know if there's any similarities.
It's amazing.
This
Maybe
is a
it
great,
wasn't a dream.
So just so you know, this is a great way to build retention throughout a podcast is to tell someone that we're going to come back to this subject later in a podcast. They do it in television all the time. So good job.
After this
Liz.
break.
After this break. Hold on. Beyond 2000. Anyway, next thing. What's your favorite color? No.
Primrose.
What's your favorite color?
That's a callback.
Yeah. So, Ben, you do a bit of music.
A dabble, yes.
I heard you're a decent DJ. Do you have any stories about DJing?
I also really like segues. How good was that one?
Heard you do a bit of DJing. How do you feel about traffic?
Exactly.
About DJing. No, just there was a couple of times, my mate used to DJ and I used to know the DJ. So I would go to his gigs and then I'd be up in the booth and we'd just be hanging out. And I remember this, it was like first-hand experience of DJ power or like DJ charisma and how people love the DJ.
Yeah.
And
You hold all the power in your hands. Like this is,
yeah.
I'm going to have a good night or a shit night. It's
Yeah.
all up to you.
The DJ turns it on, isn't it?
Yeah. And I remember there are a couple girls in front of the DJ booth literally handing me their phones to give to my mate to put his number in.
Yeah, right.
And I remember I was feeling cool, like I was in the booth, and then one of them was like, "Don't fucking put your number in there." Like that. Like I was a peasant. I was a peasant. Like, yes, sorry, sis. I handed it. Yeah, I remember that.
You should have thrown the phone in her head.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Wow.
Like you
Yeah.
piece
Real-
of shit.
Yeah.
Real truth bomb
I
right
still would
there.
have been like, oh, okay. And then just been like,
Yeah, exactly.
go find it now.
Yeah.
How much power do I
Put
have?
the phone down your pants. Like, yeah, take that. What a bunch of turds.
We used to live next to a really famous DJ.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That was a
many
really
DJs.
good segue too.
Oh,
Not really.
Look at you roll in.
On your
Your
segue.
I always that segue stuff always reminds me of that movie where it was about the games that they were creating, and there was that real weird guy that used to be the game developer. I can't remember what the movie was called, but he'd always ride around on his Segway everywhere, and he'd talk in a robot voice. I can't remember. It was so weird. If you remember what I'm talking about, please put it in the comments. Yeah, and he would be like, "I am having a good day." Yeah, that it's basically exactly that.
That's what it sounds like.
It
I
is.
can picture the voice and the
Yeah.
segue, but not anything else.
Yeah, and he was like the hero guy, and then the new guy's like this real casual guy, and everyone starts loving him. And yeah, anyway, moving on. Sorry, DJ that was next door.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
It was
a
DJ.
it was a Sunday morning.
Let me paint a picture for you.
Sunday morning.
Yep.
I had a job interview
Okay.
it was 11 o'clock.
On a
11,
Sunday
11.
morning.
Yes, it
What
was
you
for
do-
online teaching,
Oh, okay.
English teaching, and I'd spent many months doing this course and finishing this course, and then I finally had a job interview because it was during COVID, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so gearing up for this exciting interview, 10:30, I was sitting at the kitchen bench with the laptop, just getting my affairs in order, and then I just heard like. And I was like, what the fuck? And oh man. And the housing complex next door had many a colourful character, let's just say that.
Okay.
And this guy, he decided to have a rave on his balcony, he was shirtless and he had like the sinewy. It was like the sinewy meth head physique, a physique that you can only acquire through drugs.
Didn't he have a wig on?
He had a wig and a visor on. So he had a wig.
Okay, I'm picturing like one of those judge wigs. Is that what we're talking about here?
It was like a Ken doll wig.
Ken doll.
Yeah, and a visor and spirit beads. Like these giant spirit beads around his neck. And he's just like and he had just discovered how to splice sounds into his mix. And I actually have, I'll have to track down the audio, but I recorded it before, like 15 minutes before my bloody job interview.
Yeah.
He had sex sounds. And I shit you not, I have the recording of it.
Yeah.
And it's like and he was
You do that so well.
He was, oh man, it was ridiculous. Like, how is this even a
Like
real situation?
Ben's got programmed sex noises.
Yeah. And then his housemate,
Yeah.
No, Ben's out there. How did you get the sex noises? How did you get them?
Yeah.
I'll
and,
let people read into that. No.
Yeah. And then his roommate opened his window.
Yep.
And he's just like, "Hey man, can you turn that down?" And then instantly killed the buzz of the DJ. Oh, no. And then it subsided for a bit, and then I managed to get my interview over and done with, and then it picked up later.
Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was just such a strange, because a Sunday morning is really peaceful.
Yeah, right.
People are walking in the park, and it's the last thing you.
And he was also like on his balcony, set up facing out.
Yeah,
from his
it was an
balcony.
outdoor
He was
gig.
playing for the people.
Correct.
Outdoor
Yeah.
gig, yeah.
For the people.
Which is not unheard of during COVID times. That you were like, you were
that's
like,
true.
I'm going to do
Yeah.
this in my front yard. I'm going to do this for other people to enjoy. He was doing a public service
Yeah, that's true.
He thought he was.
I think everyone wants to know if you got the job as well.
as a DJ.
I did.
You got it
I actually got a job as a DJ.
at the school.
You're hired. I got a job as a DJ at an online English teaching company. Very niche.
Yeah. They found that learning English through repetitive music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Work has slowed down a bit. But I'm still on the books.
Oh, you've got her. Yes. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
We're going to have a little bit of a breather there.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Everything's fine. Oh, so good.
Oh, God.
So good. All right. Wow.
So traffic.
What do you reckon of stoplights?
Did you guys have any questions for us? Did you bring any questions that you would like to know anything more about us?
Yeah, Ben.
Zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, we did a whole season of that. That was season 5.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I watched your podcast.
Clearly.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, what would be our
What's
zombie
your go-to?
apocalypse?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's do the morning of the first broadcasts. We hear about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
do you
what
do?
would we
What's
do?
your action plan?
Yeah. So we had a plan when we had a 2-story house, but we haven't talked through the new one for this house.
Ooh.
Correct.
The struggles with this house is we've got big, huge frick-off glass windows. So they're really big. So we need to do something about that. We have plans to put a fence across the front. So we're basically enclosed and we'd be quiet. The old place was a piece of shit. It was basically falling down. Our plan was to we had a ladder and we were going to knock the stairs down because it was a 2-story house. Knock the stairs in the middle, so there was just no way to get out.
So the outdoor stairs, I mean, to be honest, they wouldn't have taken much. Like,
It would have just been a fun activity in
would've
the
just been
apocalypse.
like a small thing that we did to knock them down anyway. And then
A general hammer from
Yeah.
the
you know,
Yeah,
a
done.
light
A gavel?
breeze. Get a fan out, and you'd be fine.
gavel.
And then fill up the internal stairs with furniture. So the front stairs inside, fill that up with furniture, so
or
nothing
knock
could come.
them down too. Either or.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of fill that in so no one can come up there, and then push down the other stairs. So we were just going to bunker.
Yeah.
We did talk through. We're going to get a shed.
Yeah.
And we talked through all the things we should have done, like put a tunnel in.
I was
Yeah.
waiting for that. I knew you were going to say
Ben's like, please say a bunker. Please say a
Please say
bunker.
bunker.
I
Buzzword.
know. Should we have? Yeah, we did talk about it. Everyone's like, oh, what about like a basement? Like, yeah, it's actually really expensive to put a basement
Yeah.
in. Like,
Yeah.
really expensive.
We,
So
we have a lot of non-perishable food already, but we would probably, if we heard something, we would literally duck around the corner straight away because it's literally behind us where we have a market where we can get stuff. And I feel like something we should do, we haven't done yet, is get some of those. What are those food things that
Yeah.
last forever and they taste like shit?
Oh,
but
like
they're
ration
actually,
packs.
MREs.
yeah, the emeries.
Yeah.
Emeries.
they have them at
emery
Costco.
boards.
Oh.
So yeah, they actually have. They have
brick.
massive containers of non-perishable food.
Yeah.
Just massive drums of it that you can buy and just mix it up.
Yeah.
We might have to renew our membership.
So yeah, that's probably.
cool.
We've got a bit of work to do on it though.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
You've still got time.
Yeah. Well, do we? You say that confidently, like you know something I don't know. How much time do we have?
Has the world already ended and we just don't know about it?
Oh,
I read. Did you read that conspiracy
We have no
theory?
Yeah, so it's already ended. What 2012?
2012
It's
with the
actually
black
already
hole.
ended. Black hole or something, and we're
We just
actually
don't-
in a simulation.
Yeah, we just don't know anything about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
yeah, creepy. Yeah, this is the stuff we talk about. at
Nothing
work all the
matters.
time. Nothing else matters. Okay, this has been fun. Let's move on to the next section of the podcast, which is Ben.
G'day. The segment's just called Ben. It's just me like staring into the camera.
Without blinking.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or should we go into the proper one?
Well, there's been a request for the game time song.
Oh, has there?
Yeah. Beck was like, "Oh, are we getting a game time song?"
Oh, okay.
Prepared this time.
There we go. Here it is.
Everybody now.
It's game time, gotta get a little game time in you, in your face, in your place. Come on, yeah. Oh, it's game time. Everybody. I don't know why I enjoy that so much, and I appreciate the dancing because, you know, as a musician, you really appreciate the people dancing to your music, and I think, you know, you just appreciate this type of stuff.
We could talk about that for hours.
Yeah, dancing. I know.
What's
Light traffic
Person
lights.
dancing at your gig.
Person dancing at gig.
What's your
I have
favourite
a
thing?
funny story.
What's your favorite thing, James? That one guy.
That one guy. Oh, okay. So
Share.
I was telling Ben that we used to play. Like we played a couple of festivals, and we played this one festival up at Mackay, and this was the one where we won a Triple J Unearth competition, and we got to play at this festival, which was a lot of fun. Being the Triple J Unearth winner, you played pretty much at the start, so people were coming in and all that kind of stuff, and by probably the middle of our set we had quite a few people there, which was lots of fun, but this one guy, and there was this big guy, and he was standing here with his arms folded looking at me, and I was
Could not
thinking,
have looked more unhappy.
yeah, and I was thinking, what have I done? Did
I steal his car park?
Did
Have
I
I-
make out with your girlfriend? Or yeah, all
what have I
kinds of
done to
things.
this
Like
guy?
I that's what I was thinking up on stage the whole bloody time. I was singing these songs, and luckily I knew the words because that's what I was thinking in my head. What the he's still standing there the whole time. He's right center stage, like center of the stage. stage in like just moved back a bit. He was just standing there. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? Anyway, I get off the stage and we head out to the front to the bar, and he starts to walk up to me, and I'm like,
he's gonna
freaking
beat
the
the
hell
shit
out.
out of
He's
me.
like, what have I done? What the hell have I done? And he goes, mate, that was a really good set. I really like you guys. I really enjoyed it. That was the best set. I loved it. Thanks, guys. And patted me on the back. You really can't judge a book by its cover, can you? You really cannot. And he was like, yeah, I saw you guys at the whatever, Gilhoolies or whatever it was, back a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh, God. Jesus, man, you're freaking me out.
Like any dancing would have just really
Yeah.
made it a much more enjoyable time.
Yeah.
Just two-step or something, Tap it out, mate.
I wonder
Anyway,
what it
that's
takes
so
for him
good.
to like break out of.
Yeah.
If that's like a good
Like
time.
an incredible song. It must be Queen, I guess. What's the best song?
What's
Queen.
his kryptonite?
Yeah, it must be.
Is it kryptonite?
$3
Oh,
down.
you're so right. Yes.
Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic here. Let me rein it back in a little bit. Okay, so we're playing Game Time, which we've been. I actually watched a couple of the first episodes this season. We were playing a completely different game, and now we're playing Articulate, and it's been a thing now that
What were we playing?
Yeah, Ben, what were they playing?
Trivial Pursuit.
No, we started with we had to get people. We had
To say a
people
word.
to say a word, and they
Yeah.
couldn't say certain words. Anyway,
Like Taboo. We were basically playing Taboo.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Taboo.
but over the phone.
Yeah.
And we we're going to do businesses, but we thought, maybe not. Anyway, that was fun. Now we're in Articulate, where we're like, yeah, we're superior beings, and then we become very insuperior beings. Because we've lost 2 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
And
Everyone likes an underdog story, though.
they
Yeah.
do.
Like everyone's
It's
cheering
true.
for you tonight.
It's true. This is if there was an underdog story, this would be it though, because
Like move over Rocky.
you guys know Articulate, right?
Out of any of the guests we've had, you guys are like, yeah, I know the rules. We can do this.
Yeah, we are reigning champions in Ben's family.
You watch us get absolutely dismantled.
Yeah, I
Reigning
was nervous.
champions.
Yeah.
You've brought on reigning champions when
Yeah.
we're two losses down.
Yeah. All the reigning.
But it's going to feel so good when you win.
If-
Let's see. This could be like the 3rd week of disappointment. It's all about mindset, guys.
That's
all right, we
right.
got this.
You're
We
gonna
got
win.
this. Okay, so I feel like you guys can start. We will bring out the timer for 1 minute timer. So 1 minute, as many object as you can do.
Oh,
So
am I allowed to look at the card now? Or
when
do we flip? What color
What?
is it as well?
blue.
It's blue, light blue.
Okay, hang on. Can I
It's
figure out
blue.
where
Have a
light
look
blue
at.
is?
You can have a look at one card, and then you
Okay.
can put it at the back, so you know where it is.
And only one
Okay.
skip.
One skip,
One skip, only one skip. No
But
rhymes
you-
with.
Global rule.
and you can come back to it. So
Yeah.
like, don't throw it away. You can come back if you skipped it.
No rhymes with, no starts with. I heard last week Beck say no. What do you call it? Moving your arms around like a weirdo.
No charades.
Like no
charade.
miming.
We do miming.
We do miming.
So I don't know how you feel about it. Do you want
Yeah.
to do
House
some
rules. We'll mime.
about house rules? Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
mime. Oh, I don't know how to. This
You don't have to mime,
I
though.
didn't
You
bring my
don't have
mime
to.
piece.
He's just like, oh, shit.
How do I add this into my repertoire so late in the piece?
If only I had some miming gloves or something, just
Yeah.
to show that you're
Here
allowed
we
to
go.
use. Yeah.
Let's pause here for a moment so we can go get some
Well, Ben
mime.
has a breakdown because of the change.
All right, let's go. Okay, you want to time us in
All right.
or?
Yeah. So 3, 2,
Do a good
1.
job.
Drug addicts inject drugs.
Needles.
What's another
Syringe.
word? Okay, it's a native long weapon with a spike on the end of it. Oh, he stabbed me with a
Knife.
with a stick.
An axe.
A long wooden,
Pickaxe.
A long wooden pole with an arrowhead on the end is a.
An arrow. You said arrow.
No, but it's not an arrowhead.
Skip.
Tribes use.
Nah, spear.
Are you? Yes. Jesus. Okay. When you're a kid, you get a wobbly, and then the fairy comes at night.
Tooth.
Yes.
Tooth fairy. Is it tooth?
Yes. A tradie has lots of these in his box. Yeah. I've got a lot of these in my arsenal. A lot of.
Nails.
Are you kidding? Screwdriver, hammer. What are they? What
Tools.
Are they? Yes. Excellent.
Bunch of tools.
Okay. Molten.
Lava.
The cafe molten.
Toffee.
Excellent. Okay. Horses eat.
Hey.
Excellent. Okay, a world.
Time.
Oh,
Well
wow.
done. Well
was
done.
really good.
Yeah.
Beers.
Spears.
A long
Why
wooden
didn't you just say pop star Britney? Last name.
Because it's not Britney A. Spear. Oh, my favourite pop star, Britney A. Spear. Get out of here.
How many did we get?
This is so good. How many did you get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And for people that can't
6.
speak that.
We'll put subtitles.
6.
Okay, cool. 6. All right. Do you reckon we can do it?
You guys have got this.
I believe in you.
I'm nervous.
Bring it home.
Do you want to pass the timer over to someone or?
Or I can count.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, count like this. One Mississippi.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
It comes through water when you.
A hose.
Yeah. Triangle, a square, an octagon. Yeah.
Keyboard.
It's
Music.
Yeah, it's
Organ.
It's like a keyboard. It's like an
Piano.
organ. It's in space. It's the most dense thing in space, and it draws
black hole.
everything together. Yeah. A test.
Tube.
Bullshit.
Juggernaut.
Okay. When you're going down a rabbit hole,
Is it
there
playing?
is.
Yeah, it's playing. Oh.
When you go down a rabbit hole, there is.
Warren.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If you need to skip, bread comes in a
Loaf.
chicken.
Egg.
Nah,
Chicken.
kids love them.
Nuggets.
Yep. It's a long knife.
There we go.
Oh. I don't know how I went with that. How do we go?
I'm feeling a bit scared.
1,
That felt like a long minute.
didn't get that one. 3,
That was a
4,
very good round.
Oh, shit.
5,
I'm nervous.
Now they've-
7.
Six.
They've got a.
7, 8.
Devastated.
Although I
8.
will say,
The piano one was.
I don't know how to do charades with articulate.
Yeah. Okay, so if we remove piano, which I did the dancing
This?
around with, yeah, which you didn't get straight away. All right, so we removed piano, we got hose, and we got shape. So that's 7. We got you by 1.
Congratulations.
I'm not.
I'm a really bad loser.
I'm not a bad loser. I'm
I
just
am.
mad that we lost.
I feel pretty good after the last couple of weeks because we have felt it. We've been in your position.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's
It's not good.
not a good feeling. Congratulations,
Yeah,
guys.
we'll have you. We'll have some more games of this, I reckon.
Beck
Yeah.
will talk about
Because
this later.
Yeah. We'll take this offline.
Britney A. Spear. Oh my God, I love Toxic by Britney A. Spear.
So good.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Well,
Christ.
I reckon we've been talking like a heap already, and we've spent a lot of time because we're having such a good time, but we've got lots to go down a warren with. So let's move on to the next bit of this podcast, the Booba Shakalaka. Booba Shakalaka.
Sounds like a dessert.
Booba Shakalaka.
Do you set it on fire?
Exactly. Oh, is that it? Talking about DJing. Got Skrillex right in the house now. Poof, poof, poof.
So,
How do you keep such a straight face?
I just don't know that have we ever gotten that far into it? Like, I don't know that I've ever heard that part.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really know.
It was great.
doesn't really suit down the rabbit hole
doesn't.
either at all. I just like
No.
playing that song.
It's going to be really chaotic.
Yeah. I could tell
Be
this section
prepared.
is going to be chaotic though. Like, seriously. Okay, so we're doing alien abduction stories.
What? No.
Is it?
Well, we're not doing them.
We're not going to do one
Alien
here.
abductions.
We're going to reenact one right now.
This is
your
YouTube, and this is
costume out.
step by step on how to do an alien abduction. First of all, go to Mexico. No.
Right?
Awkward. All right. So alien abductions and CIA cover-ups or intelligence agency cover-ups. But, CIA is pretty known for some of this stuff. So I think it's interesting. What did you guys bring? Because I've had enough talking.
Westall.
What does that mean?
So I was talking to my dad yesterday.
Okay.
My dad has always kind of had a little bit of a thing for aliens, weird encounters, like a
Yeah.
fascination with it. And I found out that he used to sit outside with his dad and look at the stars when his dad like knocked off from work or whatever, and they'd sit outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, have you ever seen anything? He's like, there was this one time when I was 10 or around 10, and he was outside and he saw these 4 lights on like the bottom of a disc.
Yeah.
And was like, as a 10-year-old, was like, holy shit. And then ran inside to grab his dad because his dad had gone in to get another beer.
Yeah.
And by the time he came back out, it was gone.
Oh.
So credibility for his story is the fact that around the same time in 1966, there was a mass sighting of UFO in Melbourne, 3 UFOs
Wow.
at a school called Westall Primary and Westall High.
And that's what Westall means. Because you
Westall
said Westall at the
UFOs.
start.
Yes.
Yeah. So over 200 kids and staff included saw between 1 to 3 UFOs depending
During
on
the day.
It was
they just-
in the middle of the freaking day.
Really?
Yeah, and so we found out about this yesterday and we were like, how have we never heard about this before? But it was so much of it was covered up.
Really?
Yes.
Bullshit. Can you see any of this stuff on the internet? Like if you look it up, Westall something?
Yeah, there's documentaries on YouTube about it.
Really?
And a few years ago, a few of the kids that were like in grade like 1 and 2 when it happened, they're now like grown.
Yeah.
50 years.
Yeah, they're all coming out and like talking about it now because when
Wow.
they were kids,
they weren't allowed to.
the teachers were like, don't talk about this.
Yeah, great.
Don't do it. But there was
Wow.
one girl, she spoke to Channel 9, did an interview.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I was a bit of a rebel. But this research has gone back and like looking at all the information about it. And he gets into the Channel 9 archives and the tin that's meant to have the thing in it is gone.
Oh, wow.
It's gone. And like government services, like people say that they thought they saw like the military, army, air force, police,
Wow.
Yeah.
US government officials at the site.
Like 20 minutes after it had
How do
occurred.
they all
Yeah,
know?
wow.
Like how were they there so quickly? None of them could have been dispatched. But then there's no official reporting of it either.
Jeez.
That's cool though, right?
Yeah. So we spent a lot of time looking at that. We went down the Warren.
The Warren.
Yeah, because I was like, shit, Dad. Yeah,
It's double
down
handling,
a
isn't
big
it?
hole.
Warren hole. It's,
Warren hole.
it's like saying hole, isn't it?
ATM machine.
I really should have narrowed my search a little bit closer to home.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even think to look at Australian UFO or like alien encounters. I
Yeah.
just
Because a lot of them are overseas.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah,
Wow.
wild.
And like so many people
Yeah.
to have seen it in the middle of the day.
Yeah. And there was also a teacher that took photos of it and she had her camera taken off of her.
Wow.
So it was a massive cover up.
Okay, do you think it's aliens or do you think it's tech?
Aliens.
Aliens? Okay. Ben?
Oh.
Yeah.
It could be alien tech that the government is
Playing with?
testing out.
Oh, that
yeah.
could be
And
true
it got out of
too.
control.
Because there is that guy in America that used to work for
Lazar, Area 51, S4.
yeah, and he is it Lazar, is it? Yeah, and he talks about like
The
his
technology they have.
experiences. Everyone sort of tried to. He thought he was going to get killed, and so he came out and was telling the story to as many places as possible to try and protect himself because he came out of Area 51 with knowing all this information about this crashed UFO and how they've been playing with it to try and make it work and all that kind of stuff. Do you know much more about that?
Yeah, we went down the Warren with that.
Yeah. Warren?
Oh yeah. There's a whole bunch of interviews with him online
Yeah.
now. And yeah, he just talks about how the tech just doesn't. You can't really put it in any category of human technology.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there was like the power source of it that he just didn't
Yeah.
understand how it
Wow.
worked, and that they didn't understand how it worked, but they got it working to an extent and got it up in the air. But there was some people that tested it and crashed it again or something like that, and yeah, they hurt themselves and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, he replaced a guy who died.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hold on. This whole time, we could potentially have the technology where I don't have to carry around a separate battery to charge my phone in the middle of the day, and we've
Potentially.
Why are they hiding it from us?
Yeah. Well, from
I
the
mean-
sounds of it. Well, this was in what, 70s or 80s or something like that where it was happening. I can't remember
Yeah, I
exactly.
can't remember
been
either.
It's been 30 years, I think, since
30 years, so it was in the 90s then.
90s. Yeah.
It doesn't quite add up, does it?
Oh,
30
maybe-
years.
Maybe.
No, I
30
don't
years
know.
ago
Maybe
being
80s.
90s, that doesn't make sense. I
Maths.
feel like that was like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, from the sounds of it, they don't know how it actually works or what it is or anything like that.
So-
But yeah.
there was a lot of things that I was reading online that were really around the 60s, like a lot of sightings and encounters and things around the 60s. I got really interested and did some Googling around more recent, like since we've come out and said, yeah, okay, aliens exist. Hasn't
They
been
made that cake, I remember.
hasn't been a lot of sightings.
There hasn't been a lot of signs since the 60s.
No, since the government has acknowledged the fact that aliens exist.
Yeah, okay.
Less sightings. So that was interesting. The sightings or the encounters I read about were really abductions at the time. They really were just someone actually being taken away and being pulled back to where they were, and they would maybe have these two guys that I read about actually had like one had a hole in each arm, so they each had one, where they said that they'd been abducted, and this thing that looked like a giant eye kind of scanned them to like understand how their body worked and stuff like that, and then they just kind of got spat out back where they were. There's a few stories like that where they've been taken away and they feel like they've been put in a room, or they've laid down and they've not been able to move, so all they can move is their eyeballs, and then they've just been studied or scanned or tried to understand. And the interesting thing about all of these ones is there was a recent study that was done that was trying to uncover like how did these people come back with these memories, like why would you let someone escape with these memories? And they were like, oh well, I didn't necessarily remember everything at the start, but I went through hypnosis in order to access these memories. So I actually they put them through hypnosis and things like that in order to try and uncover were they lying or telling the truth. And actually what they found is a lot of these people have undergone surgeries at some time or another, and they actually think that what they've uncovered is a memory of a surgical experience where perhaps they've been awake under anesthesia.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, which the brain doesn't know how to organize. It doesn't know what to do with that, and so it's then presented as something else.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, we have a mutual friend that had a experience as well, and I'm only just going to tell the overall story. But basically, him and his friend were in the driveway of their house, looking at the stars, and next minute it's the morning. And they're really drowsy. Do you remember hearing about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he reckons before the only thing he remembers is the bright light coming over,
Yeah.
and then next minute it's the morning. They're still on the same driveway, and they're feeling really groggy.
How much had they had to drink?
Oh, they didn't drink that night. That's what they said. So yeah.
Have they been visited by the men in black?
Oh, maybe. That's
Yeah,
what the bright light is. Yeah.
I mean, the technology probably exists in order to alter our memories.
Does it?
Well, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Oh my!
But would they actually want to? Would they have any interest in studying us?
That's what I was going to
Really?
ask. Like, what is it
what's the
about
purpose?
us? Yeah. What is it about us that they're interested in?
And that they're doing it secretively. Like, oh, I'm just going to sneak in at night and just do a quick scan and like maybe you won't remember anything. What?
Alien ant farm.
We're the ants.
We're the ants.
Oh my God.
And there's a band called Alien Ant Farm, and it just put together in my head what that band was called that for.
You
Because
figured it out.
we are an anthill, the human race.
James is going to disappear in the night.
Oh.
He's done.
Yeah, that's it. You
Yeah.
cracked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't publish this.
That's true, because if you
Burn
think
this
about
tape.
it, if you think about it, that band nowhere to be found now. Are you okay?
You cracked it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think we've
Holy
learned all we
shit.
need to know about aliens now. Like
100%.
it just makes so much more sense.
Cracked
That's
it right open.
Wow. We went all the way to the end of the rabbit warren.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we figured
You
it
know-
out with
you know-
one life.
All right, let's turn around. Try a different hole. Is there is there any other stories that you have that you dug through and found some information on?
Not in regards to aliens, no, because I just got sucked into that Melbourne one.
Oh yeah,
I went full.
That is wild. I'm gonna look at after this for sure.
Everyone should definitely have a look at it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like at work that try and dismiss it as like, you know, military technology and stuff like that as well. But I think it's potentially that alien stuff. Like, what's this guy got to prove? You know, the Lazar guy. What's he got to prove? Like, he's been doing these interviews for years and years and years. He doesn't take money for it. He doesn't take money for it. He literally does it for what he says is to stay alive and to not be killed, whatever. Because he thinks that like by bringing out the information for more people to know about him, the safer he feels.
So that's his own purpose. He doesn't care about how many people know or what they do with the information, or he's not trying to inform people. He's just trying to stay alive.
He was on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan said that it was a real struggle to actually get him on because he didn't want to go on that podcast
Wow.
because so many people watched it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's so weird.
And he kept getting migraines.
Yeah, migraines.
Remember
I
that?
don't remember that.
He had a migraine through the whole thing.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I-
Mind control, maybe.
Shit, is he a lizard?
Gotta talk about the lizard people now. I was trying to stay away from that one.
Is he an alien though? And he's trying to stay alive by telling everyone all of this stuff, so then no one can get rid of him because they'll ask questions. But actually, he's an alien, and that's how he knows everything about it.
Could
He
be
was
true.
sent down to Earth with a Lazar and
Zanya.
Oh my
lasagna,
god!
and he loves lasagna and Britney A. Spears.
Oh no! Never gonna live that
Oh
down.
wow!
The only other interesting one that I found was interesting because of the amount of people that saw it as well. So similar to the school one, there was one that's called the Linda case, and it was a woman who was abducted from a 12th floor apartment in Manhattan, floated out of the window.
Wow!
And what they're saying is that they obviously wanted to be seen. They didn't try and mask themselves or anything. It was 3 a.m, but they were witnessed floating with 3 aliens below the UFO 12 stories up. And multiple
That's
people.
creepy.
Yeah, there's multiple account witnesses. The weirdest thing about it is that this woman had actually been interviewed before because she'd spotted a UFO. So this guy says, and he compiles cases of alien sightings. He was like, I'd worked with her before and had spoken to her. And then this had happened and all of these people came forward saying that they saw this and it was her. But people were just told, and the way that they were talking about it was, it was so blatantly obvious that they were like, oh, okay, obviously someone's making a movie. It's clearly a movie because that's impossible. Like, it's impossible to to float her out the window with 3
So
aliens
were they
and
trying to
put her in
do
a
what?
UFO.
What did they think? Like it was CGI in real life or something?
Or like Chris Angel. Is he the one that makes people float? They're like, shit, he's
Levitation.
filming a special.
But yeah, they just didn't really know. So yeah.
It's funny how people dismiss things, or like the government try and put these words out to try and cover things up. Segue. See,
But the power of suggestion, like your brain is looking for some way to rationalize
of
it.
suggestion,
It doesn't have any way to say what that is. So your brain is looking for that. So
Yeah.
it's not surprising that if even without technology, if you had people saying, this is what you saw, this is what happens. And what did they say in Men in Black? Like, oh, there was a subway explosion and then this happened. Like your brain is like, okay, I'm just trying to grasp on something for reference. So I get it. So yeah, I really think that the people at the time, irrespective of technology, probably had a lot of power.
Yeah, there is something there. And they did a lot of experiments with CIA around this stuff.
Yeah.
There's a project called MKUltra. Have you guys heard of that? What do you guys know
no,
about MKUltra?
It'd be better if it had a better name.
How?
Like
It's a pretty
Project
cool name.
Unicorn or Ultra.
MKUltra. Sounds like a news album.
I know, right? It gets worse.
Yeah.
It gets worse. But what do you know about MKUltra?
Not a lot. no.
Okay, so MKUltra was during the 50s till about the 70s. So the aim of the project was to develop mind control.
Did it succeed?
So they did a lot of stuff, a lot of questionable stuff. Would you believe
Yes.
that prostitutes were involved?
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Okay. So they did drug testing, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation. They also did electroconvulsive therapy. So the drug testing, they used the LSD and psilocybin and other ones to CIA employees, military personnel, and even civilians without them knowing. And their research was aimed at like observing the reactions of them and potential interrogation applications of using these drugs with whoever they've given it to. Hypnosis and sensory deprivation. So these techniques were explored to induce suggestibility and extract confessions or classified information. So subjects were subject to isolation, sleep deprivation, and manipulation techniques. And then the electroconvulsive therapy, so the ECT, through a controversial medical practice, they were used high doses of altered behavior and to alter behavior and erase memory. So this electroconvulsive therapy would actually remove people's memory.
Like fry you a bit.
So like Men in Black kind of stuff, right? Yeah, and the suggestiveness for the drugs, like people were more suggestive when you were to have them hypnotized or
Is this where the
sensory
prostitutes
deprived.
come in?
Yeah.
Like, you keep saying suggestive and looking over, and I'm just curious as to.
All right. Any guesses of what? So the subcategory of this operation was called that had prostitutes.
Ladies of the night.
Anyone? Nah, not got anything. You got one?
Oh, I was going to say something like MK Sultra. MK Sultra.
So it's even better, and I don't even have to write a joke for this. So one of the experiments within MKUltra was known as Operation Midnight Climax. No bullshit.
So
you
there's
can
afternoon
go
delight, and then there's midnight climax.
Midnight climax. So this is all stuff that is documented from the CIA that's come out, and you can read about it like from like government documents. No bullshit.
It's interesting that you say until it was done until this time. Yeah, we don't do it anymore.
I've got a story for you with it, right? Okay, so CIA set up brothels in San Francisco and New York. No bullshit. In New York and San Francisco, they used the prostitutes to pick up civilians to bring them back where they recorded them, sound, audio, and visual.
That's where old mate
Audio
got
and
his
visual.
little DJ inserts from.
Yeah, that's where he got it from. Now we know. The more you know. I didn't even put those two together. Fantastic. But yeah, so they'd bring them back, do the experiments with the drugs with them to see how they could manipulate their thoughts.
What were they trying to suggest them? Like, would you like another hour? Like, how many people took another hour if they gave them LSD?
Yeah, so they sort of explored what they could do with LSD to create unwitting agents as well. So get them to do things that they wanted them to do, like as an agent. So they'd experiment with like saying, "Can you do this for me?" And like they'd go and do it or something like that. So they were. So this was all happening during like the Cold War kind of thing, where they were like really worried about the Soviet Union playing mind games and all that kind of stuff. So they were trying to get on top of that and trying to learn what they could from the drugs to be able to do mind control on their people or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, CIA hoped to gain advantage through similar techniques that they heard about in the Soviet Union to use in sleeper agents and espionage. Some of it's probably not even true from the Soviet side of things. They just did it.
Yeah, they're like, we have this.
Also, how did you find out? Did you give them LSD and then ask them what they did? Like, we can control your mind. We can control your mind. Like, we could tell you to look at flowers if we wanted to. they're like, interesting.
Yeah. It's just the weirdest thing though,
So
right?
harmless and innocent.
Yeah.
Look at some flowers.
We could tell you to go outside.
Don't do it.
Shit, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make me go outside. That sounds like a 2020 COVID thing. So the cool thing is like this journalist was the one that stopped this stuff. So this journalist, his name was Seymour Hersh. I don't know.
What a
whatever.
name.
Sounds like Seymour Hersh.
Seymour Hersh.
Anyway, so he was approached by people that had weird dreams about going to these places and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I need to look into this. And he looked into it and wrote this big thing up. And the CIA approached before he published it, but he got it out and it got
How
so
long
much.
afterwards was
So this was in 1973, 23 years later.
Okay.
Throughout the process. But yeah, so it's just intense. Like, so there was so much like public upheaval at the time to get this thing to stop because, you know, they're giving people drugs without them even knowing it.
Yeah.
Consent was a bit more loose back then, wasn't it?
No consent. Yeah, at all. At all.
That?
I mean,
It's
this is
crazy.
well before the Me Too era, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
My
Awkward.
maths is correct.
Yeah, it was back
10
then.
years?
It was LSD. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
If you wanted to test LSD, I just don't think that you needed to abduct people. Like, I think you could have gone about it in a different way. Just like, hey, come in, we're going to video it, but you can just have as much LSD as you want. And they'll be like,
Sure.
okay, thanks. Like,
Yeah.
we'll also supply prostitutes. I mean,
And
you
they're
tell
like,
me where I need to go.
Yeah.
Like,
sign me up.
Winner.
But also, like, so when you were saying, so their whole plan, like, imagine the room of people and they're like, what's our next plan? How are we going to combat Russia? And this guy's like, hear me out.
Hear me out. I know,
I've
right?
got an idea.
Yeah.
We're going to create brothels. And they're like, what? And LSD. It'll be fine. Like, this is the best. And they're all like, all right, let's do this. Like, this is great.
I know, right? I would love to be in that meeting room where these people are coming up with these dumb ideas.
Do you
And
think
the
that-
woman's taking notes, right? Because that's her role at the time. And she's just like, oh, what the fuck are these guys doing?
They've got like a really weird like mind map up on the wall on butcher's paper. It's like, how can we fuck with
It
Russia?
says midnight climax, and climax is spelt wrong.
And it's like stick figures, spiky bra or something.
They go with the prostitute. They go down here. We give them the LSD. I just think just such a weird concept.
Yeah.
And I thought the idea of the name. So the first name you came up with, I actually take it back. It seems fine because I wouldn't know what that's about. Like if you said that project name,
MKUltra.
Great. I would not know what that's about.
True.
Midnight Climax.
Yeah.
I think
It's
I
a
know.
dead giveaway.
Like, why name it that? Like the whole point, isn't it supposed to be that you name it something secretive?
Yeah.
Nah, we all know. What project are you on? Oh, I just got assigned to Midnight Climax.
You know what I'm up to tonight. Hey.
Can I come?
Yes, you can.
You're already there, mate. You are already there.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
So yeah, that stopped in 73, but people still think it's happening. So I got sent a reel the other day. Yeah, like secret, like in more secret, like being really careful about stuff.
Above top secret is more secret.
More secret. No,
What
above
sort of
that,
clearance do you need for that?
above
More
that's
secret.
most secret.
Most secrets, accurate.
Nothing's above most.
Yeah, it's written in crayon as well. That's awesome.
CIA. Anyway, so people still think it's happening. There was a reel the other day that got sent through to me. I can't remember who sent it about, but it was a guy, and he was like, "I feel like I'm in a simulation," because he was having these. He had these weird experiences where was that a noise? Did he hear a noise?
I heard
Yeah.
that.
I think it was the fridge.
Okay, good. Anyway, good. You're welcome, everyone watching. It wasn't good. Aliens.
Sorry, we have a fridge that makes ice.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I freaked
just thought
out
I'd
after all the
clarify.
alien conversations.
No, there's no bright lights. We're fine.
Okay.
We're
Oh,
just
it's the lights you have to
we're
worry
just
about.
real bougie with our ice maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know you've made it when you've got an ice
We like to
maker in
thank
your
our
fridge.
sponsors, actually.
Yeah.
Apparently Fuji.
Westinghouse.
Westinghouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this reel basically thinks he's in a simulation because he's having weird experiences. So he came out of his apartment and he's
I thought you were going to say padded cell.
he patted himself.
He came out. Just
walked out.
Yeah.
Came out of his cell.
He's having
And there was
some
these
weird...
banging on the doors around him.
Yeah.
No. So all out of his apartment and all the other doors, they had the Chinese.
I said this to you.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, right. The
Yeah.
Chinese
Food menus, like a menus for Chinese
in,
shop.
in the doors,
I'm sorry,
which is
but
normal.
what the fuck is that noise?
What? Me.
You
that was
did
me.
that, and she says food. Like what?
I've seen the
Obviously.
reel. I've seen the reel, so I know what it's about.
Yeah. So anyway, he's come out and he's seen all these Chinese things and he's like, oh, okay, cool. I've dropped off these Chinese things. And then he goes back in and like goes out and it's several weeks later, all of the menus are still stuck in the doors.
So the doors have not been opened.
The doors have not been opened because
None of them
in the whole building.
Well, he went to his floor, went through all the rest of the floors. Not a one has moved.
Not one. So he goes out and he's out in his community and there's random people, but they're all talking about the same thing on their phones.
Guys in suits, the same guys in suits, they're all having one conversation, one-sided conversation, talking about the same topic.
It's so creepy. Like he's saying that he's in a simulation, but I think that's more of this kind of stuff where they're thinking that if they get someone into a certain state of mind that they can get them feeling a little bit crazy, they'll question everything and then they can sort of work with mind control and stuff like that. That's where my mind went with it instead of simulation stuff.
Yeah, even the building, so there's certain lights on and they're the same lights and there's no one ever in the windows or anything. Like he's honestly just losing his mind right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, the CIA
And it's
are
the
like
CIA.
great. And he's posting it. So they don't even have to follow him. They
Yeah.
can just watch it on TikTok. They can just watch him spiral.
Yeah. Wow. Talking about like after that MKUltra thing, like how much trust would you have in the CIA?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I feel like there's a huge divide.
Yeah. But it makes so much sense about what you see overseas around trust in government and stuff like that. And there was something that happened during that time, which is one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there. Can you guess which one it is?
Is it in Australia?
No.
No.
US.
I think I know what you're going to say.
What are you going to
But I don't want to guess it because I don't want to be wrong.
just guess anyway?
Nah.
Is it the invention of the internet?
No.
Yeah.
1963. This is the biggest one that people talk about a lot before 9/11 was JFK.
Oh,
That's what you're going to say. You should have said it. Just gone with it.
No,
Gone with
I
it.
hate losing. So
It's already been a bad night.
Yeah, I got it. I got that.
yeah.
So what do you know about this one? Have you done deep dives on this?
I've done like a surface, like little swim.
Yeah.
They knocked him off because
Because
they thought that he was gonna
People thought that
expose. Sorry, I keep.
no, you go.
no,
you go.
do it.
People
This is your
thought
story, run
people
with it.
thought that he had an alien encounter, and that the government wanted to knock him off before saying his. Because a lot of presidents were starting to sort of come out and say their experiences, and apparently he was like locked and loaded with something, and the government wanted to knock him
Wow.
off before he could say.
There
That
you
was another
go.
rant. There's so many,
Yeah.
but that was just one, and I was like, oh, that's relevant.
That would fit.
That makes sense though. Also, if you were an alien, go to the president. Like,
Yeah,
I,
that
like
makes sense.
you know,
Yeah.
just like go to the go to someone.
What's up,
That
Prezi?
has, some type of platform. Like, I don't think you go to the farmers down the road that, drove 2 hours to their police station. Like,
To be fair, though, like if an alien if we're looking at an ant, which ant's the president? You know what I mean?
the Queen.
Yeah,
The guy in the
queen.
suit. The
guy in the
The
suit.
one in the White House.
the ant in the White House, obviously.
Yeah,
The Centre for Ants.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like maybe the aliens
How do they
don't
not know?
They,
Yeah.
Maybe because our culture
Or like
might be completely
primitive
different,
beings.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I like this theory because it could fit into the story itself. So I'll tell the story a little bit, and you guys can add what you want, because that's how podcasts work. I keep calling it a podcast, but really we're like a vlog, aren't we?
No.
Okay, moving on.
Incorrect.
This is not the first time I was incorrect today. November 1963 in Dallas, Texas. Suspect, so JFK was killed. The suspect who was never convicted was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Lee Harvey Oswald was the killer?
Or
Yes.
was he
Before we
a
start.
scapegoat?
No, it was the killer.
He was the killer?
Yeah.
What do you guys reckon?
I'll say no just to,
Keep things spicy.
yeah.
I think that he was a scapegoat.
Scapegoat? Okay, so I asked the question on Twitter as well, and I put the poll up, and let's see what they say. So we've got, 100% people are saying no, not the right killer. Not the right killer. And they didn't catch the right killer. So I'm going to get to the back of this story, and let you know how you're doing, because a lot of this information came out in documents that were released in 1996, and then there was more came out in, I think it was 2016 or something like that. Anyway, so Lee Harvey Oswald was a former U.S. Marine. This is what they say about him. He worked at a book depository, whatever the hell that is. What is a book depository?
It's somewhere that sells books. So
Sells
you might sell and also buy back books. So like textbooks and things like that.
Okay, so where they actually where he got shot was outside that bookstore that he worked at. So
Just convenient location maybe.
for him because he worked at it.
No, I just mean convenient location to find him.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of his work.
Lee's like, oh, sick.
Eyewitnesses saw him bringing in a large paper bag the size of
A book.
a gun. A gun, not a book. The size of a gun. When the incident happened, he was found running from the scene.
A gun was just shot. The president was killed.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I'm loving this. Keep it going.
The president stole a book.
And he was like, come back
Mr.
here.
President, that's overdue by 2 days.
So good. Then he shot a police officer.
Oh.
Oh, interesting. So he shot a police officer and he was arrested shortly after that, and then brought into custody. Cool.
Okay.
Questioned a little bit
Yeah.
because obviously he shot from a president.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, he was being moved to a more secure location, and he was shot and killed.
By who?
Jack Ruby. So he
great name.
Jack
Great
Ruby.
name for a villain.
or
Jack
a
Ruby.
nightclub owner. So he was a nightclub owner, and he was a friend of the JFK family. He fatally shot Oswald 2 days after the police custody thing. He said at the time he did it for JFK's wife, so his wife didn't have to sit through the court proceedings of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and then he was moved, and who shot and killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
It was a fake. He faked his death.
So a fun little fact: the TV of him being moved out of that cell and getting sent through to another place, it was live TV, and it was the first live TV event where someone was shot live on TV. That was Lee Oswald. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
It's like they knew and they wanted it to be seen.
It is, isn't it? It isn't. Another fun fact, this inspired Nightmare on Elm Street because the shooting actually happened on Elm Street.
Oh.
Yeah. So the director of Nightmare on Elm Street chose that because he said that that's the day that US lost its innocence.
Yeah, because originally it was Nightmare on Lollipop Lane, but it just wasn't hitting the mark properly.
Nightmare on Lollipops. Love it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they did the official investigation, some commission or something.
And they do. Creepy as all hell.
Yeah.
Lollipops have teeth. Yeah.
Oh.
So the investigation concluded that Oswald acted alone. However, this is where the stuff happens, right? CIA cover up for sure. A lot of things don't add up. Do you guys know much about the shootings and all that kind of stuff?
No, but
any fun facts?
I know about bookshops.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Don't they think that there were two people, the two shooters?
Exactly right.
Because the trajectory of the bullets.
Trajectory of the bullets.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah. So there was a lot of fun stuff that came out, right? So some information was available to the public, and that was basically from journalists who said that where the police said where the shooter was, and then how the president was shot. Do you know how many shots were fired?
Should we guess?
Two?
One. He was a really good shot.
No, I don't know.
So first there was the first investigation had 3 shots. That was done by the Warren agency. No bullshit. This Warren thing's coming up quite a few times here.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
They're quite
And
hard
then-
to find as well.
Once the actual information came out later, it was 4 shots. 4 shots. And it happened in very quick time frame.
Yeah.
And that's why they think that there was a lot of people that thought that there was more than one shooter, because the gun that was used was a bolt action. So it's,
Yeah.
and then aim and then fire again. So like within that time frame, it's like
You
the
could have
car's
done
already
4.
moved
Yeah.
further and further away. So you said about the angle and stuff like that. So there was a lot of people saying that the angle wasn't right. So what happened was he got shot through the throat first and then through the head. They said that the one that went through the throat was the one that actually, because there was a governor in the front seat, and he got a gunshot through his ribs and down his leg as well. And so what they're saying is for that angle from the bookstore, they're calling it the magic bullet theory. So basically, for it to go through that way, they would have had to have shot from the grassy knoll, which is where the grassy knoll thing comes from with the JFK stuff.
Yeah, wow.
So basically, that was the biggest thing that came out before all the information actually came out from the CIA when they released it, was it doesn't make sense. Like, where this person got shot doesn't make sense. The bullet would have had to go this way from the bookstore and then go this way and then this way, to injure that person. So it's pretty brutal.
But we don't know anything further now?
We do. Okay, so the other thing that was like, what's the speeds of the shot? Like he was a Marine or whatever. They were saying he was a Marine, so he should be proficient, but it just didn't add up. Okay, so around 1996, there was a movie, or 1994 or 5, something. There was a JFK movie that came out, and at the end of the movie, there was a statement saying, CIA, please bring out the information that was not on there or whatever, that we know you have.
Wow.
And there was a big sort of rally of people that were like, hey, let's try and get this information to come out. And they did finally get it out. Because it was declassified at the time. Well, it wasn't, but it should have been declassified. So they were trying to make sure that they got it out.
So the power of a movie. Someone was like, I want this information. I'm going to make a movie. I'm going to get people to feel that passionate about it. That's the power of Hollywood. They're going to feel compelled to reignite and get the information out. Do you reckon that could have been someone related to Lee Harvey Oswald or no?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so this is what was found in the documents that were brought out by CIA.
It was just like crossed out, wasn't it? And it just had all
Crayon
ears.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing there. It's all
There-
redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still don't have all of the stuff out apparently, but in this one, there is one of the subject lines is literally benign cover up. Yeah. So they literally covered up information because they didn't want it to get out. Now I'll tell you the information that's in here, and then you can tell me why you think why do you think they covered it up? So it was found that the CIA knew about Oswald. They knew about his connections with communism. They knew that he traveled to Russia 4 years ago. They had phone call tracking of Oswald during that time and knew that he had bought a gun and ammo and all that kind of stuff. And he was on a list of
Well, the watch list.
targets. They also knew about a second shooter. And this was in the information, which explains all the different angles because there was another shooter and apparently it was behind the knoll, where it was behind the knoll, something like that. And they also had knowledge of the nightclub owner's conversations over the phone wanting to kill Oswald the next day. So they knew all about this stuff. This was all in the information.
Yeah, wow.
Why do you reckon they covered it up?
Because he was going to come out about the aliens.
Aliens?
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, did the document say why they didn't release the information?
So if you're an intelligence agency,
Yeah.
your job is to build intelligence and protect the people with the intelligence that you do have. And you're known to have the intelligence already before the event happens and you aren't able to protect someone or do anything about it. What do you reckon it would do to the CIA agency?
Yeah, hysteria. Mass hysteria.
Well, that, but also it makes them look useless.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like, what's the point of having that information if you can't do anything about it?
Or if they're going to do anything about it, like they didn't. So that's where the alien thing comes in as well. Like maybe the CIA did know about it, and there was something else that wasn't in that about aliens, or maybe that's still to come. Who knows? But like maybe they were like, let's just let this happen. We can't let this information get out
Yeah.
because if we do, they'll know that we're useless or whatever.
Or that
It's
we
like,
chose
we
to
are
not do anything
incompetent,
about it.
and we choose not to do anything
Yeah.
about it. So there must be more to it.
I think it's not only about the people. I think it's about other countries thinking that they don't have the right information, or like it shows weakness for them to other countries.
That too, yeah.
Like the fact that they had the information and let their president be assassinated, like
Yeah.
doesn't show strength.
No. And so the other thing, it explains a lot, again, about how the US feels about the government, you know? Because
Yeah.
if they're like literally writing benign cover up in...
Here we go again with the very unsubtle names.
I know, right?
Benign climax.
Benign climax.
Yeah, it was all right.
Operation Penis Explosion.
They could have named it like Behind the Knoll or something, like something cute, but
I
like
know.
benign cover up.
Yeah, so I think it's a really interesting story, and I like going down the rabbit hole with that one. And I'm sure there's more of it, like because as I said, like it's one of the like most talked about conspiracy theories before 9/11. Like there's so many things because they don't know something, they're making it bigger than it is, whatever, that kind of effect. But there's so many different things that people are connecting and stuff like that. So if you have stuff that you've heard, put it in the comments because we'll bring it up next week for sure. And yeah, that's the JFK story.
Interesting. I learned something today.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Thank you.
I feel
It's a
so
fun
smart
story.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch me try and tell someone else about this like over the weekend. I'll be like, did you know that the things and this stuff? And I'm going to have to research again.
There's this one time at the grassy knoll.
Yeah. There was another shooter.
Who
I'm
had the
like,
bang
okay.
bang thing?
But there was too many, too quickly.
Too quickly. It needed to be 2 bang bangs. And they told them there was no bang bangs. Bang, bang, bang. I've had fun.
Potato. No.
Potato, no,
No.
Oh, remember when I was going to do a whole potato album?
Oh, it's going to
of,
be
like,
so good. Just normal songs, but just sing the one word potato to that popular
yeah,
song.
You can. Potato is just such a.
It's a versatile.
It's a versatile
Yeah.
fruit.
Can you do
No
paranoid?
comment.
You do paranoid by Sabbath with potato?
Oh, I could. Not now.
Not going to.
Next week.
I'll add it to the list for the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we did something nice for our guests.
Yeah, we did. Well, off the back of Nick last week giving me a gift and perhaps suggesting that we should do it the other way around and we should be more accommodating to our guests, we put the offer out. What is it that we could better do to accommodate you? Thinking like, oh, could we have like your favourite food here or something like that? I probably wasn't expecting the list that we got sent.
Yeah, I wasn't either. We
yeah.
got taken advantage of a little bit there, but that's
Yeah.
it's fine.
That's showbiz.
That's showbiz. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd just like to check in just on the list to make sure we covered everything off, Ben. So this was your specific list.
Yeah, I was going to say I had no hand in this.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
easygoing. I'm chill.
So for food, you wanted a Subway platter. We achieved that. Yep. A jar of brown M&Ms, which, by the way, you've not touched, but that's fine. They're there. They're there.
Just to know that you did it.
3
It's a power move.
3 bottles of Gatorade.
Yep.
And a white towel. Can you explain why you needed 3 bottles of Gatorade and a white towel?
Because from what I recall, it's actually Lil Bow Wow's rider.
And you're his biggest fan.
Yeah, I was playing a gig years ago, and the sound guy said that Lil Bow Wow ordered 3 Gatorades and a white towel. Yeah, right. It's right.
Yeah, right.
I mean, out of all the things you could
Out
have
of all
asked
the
for.
things, yeah.
But we delivered. You look a little bit chilly, but that's okay because we made sure the temperature was a nice
19
crisp
degrees.
19
Yes.
degrees.
Yes, as requested.
As
So
requested.
specific.
So, did we achieve everything? on
10
the-
out of 10.
Okay,
The
great.
hospitality here is great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Just so everyone's aware, we're not going to do it
We're
again.
never doing it
but,
again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we thought it'd just be like a really nice thing, but
It was
this
a
is our
costly
one.
exercise.
It really was our one and only time.
And the one
was
and
good.
only time I will be on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm far too expensive. My parents' fees are
They're astronomical.
extortionate.
They
Yeah,
are. They
astronomical.
are.
Yeah, we'll put a photo up on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, jump on that Instagram. We've been doing polls and stuff lately on there, which is a lot of fun. So
What
make
was
sure you
your
follow
poll?
the page. My poll was, do you touch wood when you tempt fate?
And
And I got a lot of comments from it. Where
Oh, okay.
everyone did say they did, so we didn't have anyone that didn't. So
Okay.
I guess it's just a thing
It's a
that
common thing.
everyone does.
Everyone does it?
And I got some comments around, how do you touch wood when you're driving in the car?
oh,
And I was like, well, obviously you just cut off a piece of 2x4 and have it in the car somewhere, right?
I was going to think like you
Yeah.
just have a pencil in your car at all times.
Yeah.
but
So everyone's knocking on wood.
My mind went straight to
On
the
the-
gutter.
Yes. What is it? Tell me what you're talking about.
What would you do?
You'd soon get pulled over by the cops.
What wood are you knocking
What are you
on?
knocking on?
You're knocking on your wood, mate.
You
An
should have been
officer.
here last week.
Exactly.
Officer, I was just tempting fate.
So good. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I'm so glad because last
you need
week,
to watch the end of last week's
end
episode.
of last week's episode, I brought that up and I got laughed out of the room. Laughed out of the room.
We were like, that's not a thing.
That's not a thing. Anyway, a lot of people are just knocking their heads.
Oh, yeah, touch wood. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Well, it's not wood though, but
No.
But it's like the joke of like, there's nothing
no
there.
glue.
You got to hit
Yeah.
something. You got to hit something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, in our reel, we talked about knocking on wood. We also talked about wishing people luck in the theatre.
Yep.
And instead saying break a leg.
And it's like tempting fate.
It
Wishing
is.
good luck. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't do that. And actually, your mum, so Mean Mother, reached out to
Mother.
me and she said they don't say break a leg anymore. They say something else. Do you know what it is?
No.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it chookers?
It is.
Yeah.
What?
I've never heard of this before.
I've never heard of this either.
Chookers!
Checkers.
Yeah.
This
I have a
makes
drama degree.
0 sense.
Bloody
I
thespian.
have a drama degree.
Thespian.
I've been in the theatre.
I have never heard of this until she said
Checkers.
this.
I'd love to know the
not
origin of
checkers.
it.
It's not checkers.
Checkers.
Chookers.
Chookers.
Like
Yeah.
CHOOKAS.
Yeah. So
what is this?
I don't know.
It is an Aussie way of saying good luck in the theatre. It's a term that encapsulates the spirit of the performing arts community, offering support and positivity without invoking the direct phrase of good luck, and which is considered bad luck in theatre circles. So yeah, it is an Australian
Chookers.
theatre thing. That
Chookers.
what is the chance? Thank you for legitimising this. Yeah, it turns out that's a thing.
Valid.
Valid.
Yep.
The things you know.
That's incredible.
so.
Well, this has been a fun episode. It's been good to have you both here, Bec and Ben. It's been great. And I hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
It's been a really fun night.
What a ride.
yeah.
Is this what
Thank
you
you.
expected this to be?
It's exactly what I expected.
Because he's watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
episodes, so I knew exactly what I was getting into. I want to look back at the start of this episode just to see how wide-eyed he is and like, what have I got myself into?
I've been doing some weird shit into that camera.
yeah.
Just making
Just gonna be-
eyes
yeah,
and yeah,
He's
you'll
been
enjoy
touching
that.
wood.
Be prepared. Yeah.
Ugh. All right. Well, I think we'll move on. Do you have any like sign-off phrases that you usually use when you sign off, like leave a house or anything like that?
Well, you know what they say.
No.
Well, that's just a thing that Bec and me do.
Oh,
We do that and then we leave it.
He got you straight up.
yeah.
Did you say no? no.
Yeah, no.
That's
You know
it.
what they say?
No.
Just don't say it. It gets him. We're rascals.
So good. All right. I'll see you next time that we're seeing you. And the people that are watching us can watch us next time they're watching us.